Hey everyone, welcome back. Glad to have you along for the ride. Today I want to talk about the 2022 Can Am Outlander 570 XMR. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, have been around for a while, you would know that the Mud Wife, that's my nickname for her, back in February 2022, she purchased this 2022 Can Am Outlander 570 XMR. So she's a brand new ATV rider, and when she asked me which model I would recommend, this one back here was easily my first choice.
Give her. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Go. Friggin' right.
But what I wanted to touch on today is this ATV, after we've had it for about 6 months, is it just for beginners? Is it just a wife's machine? Or is it just for new young riders? That's what I wanted to get into. I'm often asked by people, what ATV should I get? The first thing I ask them is this: what do you want to do with it 80% of the time? And that's where you got to make your decision. Is it trail riding? Is it hunting? Is it utility work? Or do you want to get into the extreme off-road? Unless you want really big power, the Can Am Outlander 570 XMR checks all the boxes. But why the XMR if you're not planning on doing extreme off-trail riding most of the time? I live in Canada, specifically Ontario. When out trail riding, it's common to find obstacles along the trail. Deep mud puddles, washed out creek crossings, or pesky beaver dams. And let me tell you, this thing can handle those no problem. It's got the tires, it's got the ground clearance, and it's got the high mounted engine air intake just for peace of mind. The biggest benefit of the Outlander XMR is the rad relocate. It takes engine overheating out of the equation. I've been on countless ATV rides and rallies where ATVs are constantly overheating. There's lots of ATVs, it's dusty. You go through some puddles, then you're running at high speeds, and before you know it, the radiator heats up, it bakes that stuff into a cake, and you're overheating. Now, with the rad relocate, you don't have a front rack. But let me tell you, unless you use your ATV for working in the bush solely, most people, they really never use their front racks. They really don't. Now let's talk about comfort. The XMR models have a stiffer ride compared to a regular trail machine. But with this model here, it does come with dual rate springs and it's comfortable for an all-day ride. Now, speaking from experience, I recently took this on a hunting trip and I gotta tell you, it was comfortable riding it all day long. Now the tires, it comes stock with Mega Mayhems. They're 28 by 9 by 12 in the front and 28 by 11 on the rear. And you know what? I like them. They work very, very well. They're capable in the mud, in the snow, and trail riding. With a skinny wide setup, it handles very, very well. The only negative I would say is they're a little rough when you're running on a road. They're not the smoothest. They're really not. But when it comes to tires, that's something that you can easily change and customize for your riding style. Let's talk about power. You cannot beat the power of the Rotax V-twin engine. You just can't. This 570 has more jam than any 570 out there on the market. And I dare to even say just as much or is more fun than the single cylinder 700s. But the power's tame. It's not overwhelming for new or inexperienced riders. But for an experienced rider, you put it in sport mode and you can just rip it. But if you are an experienced rider, you can get a little bit more jam out of this thing. You can make changes to the computer, you can get a flash or a tune to the ECM, and it'll open it up an awful lot. Now let me tell you, this thing is capable. It's beefy. The axles, the brakes, the front bumper, the front bash plate. It has a shorter wheelbase and is a little bit narrower than the full-size Can-Ams, but it still has a great breakover angle for climbing over obstacles. The only thing that's going to stop this thing is when you get into big, deep ruts.
But you're on the wrong side.
Look how high I am.
I know, but you're on the wrong.
So if you want to get into more extreme off-trail riding, all you got to do is get some bigger tires, some aftermarket clutching, and this thing will go where my Renegade 1000 XMR will go. Guaranteed. Maybe not as fast or as cool looking, but it'll get you there spending a lot less money, but just as big a smile on your face. Now this ATV might not be for everyone, but if you're looking for the most capable for the money, you can't go wrong with the Can Am Outlander 570 XMR. If you want to learn a little bit more details about this machine here, why don't you click on this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.